always find these videos so unsettling. I just think our human brains aren't built to fathom such massive distances. Hey there, knife friends. Today we're looking at PM A11. Interesting way of putting it, but there is a micro melt version of A11 high-speed tool steel as well. So that is the differentiation here. That's why it's called PM A11, because this is the powder metal version of it. And this is also a pretty close, if not identical, steel to CPM 10V in its PM form. So this should be a pretty high edge retaining steel. What I've done is I've taken and I've put the same edge I've been doing on all these mule knives, a 17-degree mirror polish edge, and this knife is very, very sharp at the moment, as they all are. And we're going to cut some rope with it, the twisted sisal rope, 10mm, until it no longer does a paper slice like I just did. So really high vanadium steel. It's got a really decent dollop of carbon in it too. It's pretty expensive stuff, I would imagine. And yeah, if you've ever had perhaps a K2 by Spyderco, the Spyderco Farid K2, that was in CPM 10V. If you had an idea of the edge retention of that knife when you used it or when you use it, it's a similar recipe to that. Spyderco from Sal on the forums, these run at 63 Rockwell, maybe 62 to 64, but he had one that ran at 63. I don't have a Rockwell testing machine, so I'm just kind of going with what the agreed forum consensus is, and I figure from Sal, it's probably something you can set your watch to fairly well. So let's just get straight into it. This is probably going to be it's always risky business to predict, but I'm thinking this might be a K390 level steel, just with looking at the things that form carbides in it and how much of them there are. Not a super dissimilar recipe from that as well. It's just got some chromium in it too, so I'll put that up on the screen now. First, the recipe for this steel, everything that's in it, and then secondly, perhaps a couple of graphs, maybe this compared with K390 and CPM 10V. So let's get into it. Hopefully this should scratch your curiosity itch if you have a Spyderco Mule Team 26, the PM A11 at home. Let's get into it. It's getting a bit dull, well, exactly where I'm cutting, but still slicing a piece of paper, so I'll go another 25 to 875. $25 to $8.75, new sheet of paper. Alright, I'll call it at 875, only just though, it's a very still a very good working edge, no doubt. But yeah, it's definitely a catch point at 875 that that I would stop the test at. Alrighty, so it started feeling a bit slow at about the 800 mark. At 850 it was almost there, making a bit of too much noise. And at 875, proper sort of hang-up cut with the part that I was using the most against the chopping board. So there you go. As I always try and do, I just use about that much of the knife, just the front inch and a half or so if I can, and that's an amazing result. Again, another one of these excellent high-speed steels. What could be the difference? So K390's got a little bit extra in it that may help it last a little bit longer, although when you think about what K390 did, which was what, 940 or something, 875, that could almost just be down to the random environment for sure. So it's definitely a top-tier edge-retaining steel, this A11 stuff. Very, very impressive. Maybe the addition of chromium decreases the edge retention slightly against rope. Maybe the 63 heat treatment, maybe the K390s, I think it was 64, might just be a single point of Rockwell, might do the trick as well. So at any rate, without sort of definitively ruling that one is better than the other, I'd just say that both this and K390 are just, top tier, could almost be Maximet level edge retaining steel. So pretty damn cool indeed. So that's PM A11. Hope you've enjoyed seeing a pretty rare and unusual steel in action. So yeah, if you somehow get a knife made in this, or let's say 10V, you put a mirror polished 17-degree edge on it and you cut rope for a living, you're going to be able to cut that rope for a long, long time before you need to resharpen. So that's a fact you can probably take to the bank. Alright guys, I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye now.